In Lagos, he poured his soul into a saxophone, birthing a new sound. On stage, he turned rhythm into rebellion. In the streets, he faced down power without fear.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the life of a true African giant, a musical revolutionary, and a political firebrand whose influence still echoes across the globe. We're talking about the one and only Fela Anikulapo-Kuti. This isn't just a story about music. It's a story about power, rebellion, and the creation of a sound that would define a continent. Fela was born Olufala Olusegun Oluditun Ransom Kuti in 1938 in Abeokuta, Nigeria. Now, you can't talk about Fela without mentioning his incredible family. His father was a prominent Anglican minister and school principal. His mother, Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, was a trailblazing feminist activist in the anti-colonial movement. Talk about a powerhouse household. This environment of education, religion, and fierce political awareness undoubtedly shaped the man he would become. Like many well-to-do Nigerians of his time, Fela was sent to London in 1958 for his education. His parents wanted him to study medicine, but Fela had other plans. He quickly switched his focus to music, enrolling at the Trinity College of Music. It was here in London that he formed his first band, Kalakuta. They played a style that was a fusion of highlife and jazz, a sound that was cool, but it was just the beginning of his musical journey. London exposed him to a vast world of music and ideas, but it was his next trip that would truly ignite the fire. In 1969, Fela took his band to the United States. This trip was a massive turning point. In Los Angeles, he connected with Sandra Isidore, a woman involved with the Black Panther Party. She introduced him to the writings and philosophies of Malcolm X, Eldridge Cleaver, and other Black Power leaders. This was a profound awakening for Fela. He began to see the struggles of Black Americans as intertwined with the post-colonial struggles back home in Africa. His political consciousness exploded, and his music was about to change forever. He renamed his band Nigeria 70, and their sound started to get funkier, grittier, and more politically charged. Upon his return to Nigeria in 1970, Fela was a changed man. The highlife jazz fusion he'd been playing no longer felt adequate to express the new, powerful ideas burning inside him. He started experimenting, blending the Yoruba traditional music he grew up with, the highlife and jazz from his early career, and the hard-hitting American funk of artists like James Brown. The result was something entirely new, a genre he christened Afrobeat. Afrobeat wasn't just music, it was a movement. The songs were long, often stretching over 15 or 20 minutes, built on hypnotic grooves, intricate horn arrangements, and complex polyrhythms. Fela played the saxophone and keyboards, but his most powerful instrument was his voice. He sang in a mix of Yoruba and Pidgin English, making his message accessible to the common person on the streets of Lagos. His lyrics were direct, confrontational, and deeply political. Fela established a communal compound and recording studio in Lagos, which he famously declared an independent nation, the Kalakuta Republic. It was a haven for his band, his family, and anyone who felt marginalized by the system. At the center of it all was his nightclub, the Afro Shrine. Performing at the shrine was a ritual. Fela would come on stage, often shirtless, and deliver his yabbies, long, spoken-word sermons where he would call out corrupt politicians, military dictators, and the colonial mentality he saw crippling his country. He gave them nicknames, like International Thief, and his songs became anthems of protest. Tracks like Zombie were a direct and scathing critique of the Nigerian military, comparing soldiers to mindless robots blindly following orders. This level of direct opposition, of course, came at a great cost. Fela's life became a constant battle with the authorities. The Kalakuta Republic was raided countless times. He was arrested on numerous occasions, beaten, and jailed. The most infamous attack came in 1977, when around 1,000 soldiers stormed the Kalakuta Republic. It was brutal. Fela was severely beaten, and the entire compound was burned to the ground. In an act of unimaginable tragedy, his elderly mother, the great activist Funmilayo Ransom Kuti, was thrown from a window during the raid. She later died from her injuries. This event could have broken anyone, but for Fela, it only hardened his resolve. In a powerful act of defiance and grief, He and his followers carried his mother's coffin directly to the Dodon Barracks, the main military headquarters in Lagos, leaving it at the gate for the generals to see. The following year, to mark the anniversary of the raid, he married 27 women, many of them his backup singers, dancers, and composers from the commune, in a single ceremony, partly as a way to protect them and legitimize their place in his community after the destruction of their home. This, along with his open embrace of traditional African spirituality over Christianity, fueled endless controversy and cemented his image as an outlaw figure. Despite the constant persecution at home, or perhaps because of it, Fela's fame exploded internationally. He was hailed as a genius and a hero by musicians and activists around the world. He toured Europe and the US, bringing Afrobeat to a global audience. People were mesmerized by the power of his music and the courage of his convictions. He was a superstar who refused to compromise, who used his platform to speak truth to power, no matter the consequences. He wasn't just an entertainer. He was a leader, a voice for the voiceless, who saw music as a weapon for liberation. His political activism continued unabated. He even formed his own political party, MOP, the Movement of the People, and tried to run for president, though his candidacy was, unsurprisingly, rejected by the government. He continued to release powerful albums throughout the 80s and 90s, with songs that chronicled the social and political ills of Nigeria. His message never wavered. Sadly, Fela's prolific life was cut short. His health began to decline in the 1990s, and on August 2, 1997, the world received the news that Fela Anikulapo-Kuti had died from complications. His death was a massive blow to Nigeria and the world. Over 1 million people attended his funeral procession in Lagos, a testament to the immense impact he had on the lives of ordinary people. Fela left behind an incredible legacy. He had over 20 children, many of whom, like Femi and Son Kuti, have become successful musicians in their own right, carrying the Afrobeat torch forward. But his legacy is so much bigger than that. He created a completely original genre of music that has influenced countless artists across jazz, funk, hip-hop, and pop. More importantly, he showed the world the power of an artist to stand up against tyranny. He was a complex, controversial, and brilliant man who lived his life entirely on his own terms. And his music remains as relevant and powerful today as it was when he first unleashed it from the stage of the Afro Shrine. He was, and is, the Black President. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this look into the life of a legend, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell so you don't miss our next video. Let us know in the comments what you think about Fela Kuti's story. We'll see you in the next one.